This is a very ugly game. But hey, a win is a win is a win, as they say. Miami's top 5 graded players here in this game. Offensive tackle Teron Armstead at the top of the list, healthy and out there like they need him to be, 88.2 in this game. Running back Jalen Wright, their rookie there from Tennessee, 87.9. Tight end Jonnu Smith at number 3 with an 80.3. Guard Robert Jones with a 79.1. And then fullback, love a good fullback here in the top 5. Alex Ingold with a 77.4. Tyler Huntley in this one, obviously starting because Tua is still on the IR. 57.0 grade. On the other side of things for New England, their cornerback Marcus Jones with a 78.4. Offensive guard Michael Jordan with a 75.6. When I was referencing Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, obviously I was talking about this Michael Jordan.
Yeah, the Patriots. Yeah.
Wide receiver Demario Douglas with a 73.9. Number 4, Ramondre Stevenson, their running back, 73.5. And then edge rusher Anthony Jennings with a 73.5 to round it out. Quarterback Jacoby Brissett, 72.5. Not terrible from Jacoby Brissett. I know people are clamoring for Drake May. When are we going to get him? Or, on the other side of things, don't play him in front of this offensive line. What's this stat that told the story here for you, Dalton?
It's honestly for this game, and of course you would know it with it being 15-10. It's just a severe lack of explosiveness on both sides, right? You got two teams that just can't throw it down the field right now. The Dolphins because of their quarterback situation, and the Patriots because of their whole situation.
Offensive line specifically, I think. That's a big one.
All of it. The whole thing for me. Dolphins were 0-4, 0-for-4 on deep balls. You have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but you can't get it to him downfield.
Hey, I'll get to why in a second, but go on.
Oh, yeah. And the Patriots, 2 for 7 for 46 yards. One of them was at the very last play of the game, was essentially a Hail Mary. It's two teams that lack explosiveness, and this was the type of not explosive game that it was going to be. There obviously some plays on both sides that could have been made, could have done better in New England. Had a real shot. They had a shot, and I'll get to that in a second too. But two teams that lack explosiveness played a very non-explosive game.
Yeah, and just overall execution, I think, is my stat that told the story on top of what you said about not being able to hit deep balls down the field. Red zone and third down, right? Those are two areas that we consistently look at, because if you're performing very well in those areas, you're probably winning a lot of football games. And both these teams just don't perform well in this area at all. And it was, two bad offenses going up against each other. Dolphins in this game, 2 for 11 on third down. That was just 18%. They were just 1 for 2 in the red zone, but they got that one, which is the difference here, because the Patriots were 4 for 13 for 31% on third down, but they were 0 for 2 in the red zone. That's basically just where the game was won and lost, is the one touchdown the Dolphins were able to get, and weren't able to get that from the Patriots when they were in the red zone, at least. My most impressive, though, getting to, hey, you got Tyreek Hill on the team. You got to be able to complete some deep passes to him. Christian Gonzalez stepped up in this game. 84.4 coverage grade for Christian Gonzalez in this one for the Patriots. He was targeted 11 times, gave up 5 receptions, but he had an interception and 2 forced incompletions. He was truly my most impressive in this, because most of the yards that he gave up in this game happened, I think it was the first series of the game. Tyreek Hill just kind of hit a comeback against him in off coverage, and it was like he was gauging Tyreek's speed, because as the game went on, especially in the second half, Gonzalez was much more comfortable playing press, playing in the hip pocket, and of course, in a foot race, he's not going to be able to keep up with Tyreek Hill, but he was able to be physical and subtle enough with him to bump him off of his routes, not get the timing right, not get a clean release off the line of scrimmage. I could not have been more impressed with what Christian Gonzalez was able to do against Tyreek Hill in a game that they knew they needed to, because Miami's offense just overall, and my most disappointing is literally just, I have in my notes, Miami's potential, because it sucks. I mean, this version of the team sucks. They're hurt along the defensive side, they're hurt along the offensive line, and they don't have Tua. Whatever you expected this team, Devon Achane was hurt, right? So whatever you thought that this team could be, injuries have completely derailed this team from anything close to whatever their potential was. And that just kind of sucks to kind of evaluate every single week. Now, should they be better than they are right now? Yes, I would think so, with a head coach like Mike McDaniel, who's been a good offensive mind in the past, but holy cow, it looks bad right now. And that kind of goes back into the Christian Gonzalez point. The Dolphins were, I think, dead last in EPA per play going into this week. If not, then they were bottom 3. A terrible offense. The cure for that? Get Tyreek Hill the football. Don't care how you have to do it, whether it's deep passes, short passes, let him get yards after the catch, horizontal stuff going parallel with the line of scrimmage. Don't care. Get him the football. And they targeted him quite a bit in this game. And Christian Gonzalez was up to the challenge. So that was very impressive for me. Who was the most impressive for you?
And real quick on that, I think that's part of the value of having Tua in there also, because there's so much stuff in this offense, especially pre-snap and all the window dressing. And when you're playing a guy like Tyler Huntley, who's been there for like 3 weeks, it's hard to go back to all of the complicated stuff, right? You really, with a backup, you have to get simple and do the simple things right. So it is tough, and I do like that Gonzalez got to challenge Hill, right, in press and do that, because then what you say to the Miami Dolphins is you go, okay, go ahead, Tyler Huntley, throw it over the top, dare you. And they couldn't do it. 0 for 4, they couldn't do it. So it was the right game plan. And I do think, man, I'm telling Gonzalez is going to be really, really good. You really feel like he's going to be a Pro Bowler at some point here.
Right.
He's really good. He was off to a great start last year. But tell you what, this week I usually get on him. I have to credit the Dolphins' offensive line this week. I think a big thing, as I always talk about, was Teron Armstead was healthy and playing.
Important. Right.
He was their highest graded player this week. Makes the entire offensive line better. Those front five, a 77.6 overall grade, only allowed 5 pressures on the day, and the team ran for 186 yards. That's a good New England front. Let's be real. The front 7 for New England's the best part of their team, right, as a unit. And this is a good front that they blocked all day. If nothing else, they ran the ball well, and they didn't let Huntley get hit too much. Did he make the throws? Not really, but they gave him enough chance. They got 15 points on the board. They grinded their way through what is a good front 7. I have to credit this Dolphins offensive line when I can, because in the past I haven't. And obviously part of that is the injuries and everything that's going on up there. But for one day, at least on this day, they played really well. They were the best part of this team for me.